between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. Weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On second down now. Sawyer. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Out of the gun now on third down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop it.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll set up a throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. He's got room past the 30. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact and the next-gen stats.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
Touchdown, Philadelphia!
Devontae Smith.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. This is a crew. They've come out flat their last two games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On first down, Sawyer. And he stopped immediately there. The Saints at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They thought they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. A gain of 22. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Up the middle they go. Sawyer. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to get this back to the...
Four-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that. They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Kind of get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Yet again, just a bruising carry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
First down, Philadelphia.
They'll look to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
14. Saints, nothing.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Saints, nothing.
Second and 12. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. A gain of 8 there on the play.
Complete to Brandon Ayuk. That's a gain of 8.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Off the play fake. Sherman. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up fourth down now.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and 1. They'll run it again with Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured up to the 9-yard run on the previous play. Getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's 3rd down.
On 3rd and 2, Sherman. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Sawyer takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Sherman. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Saints! A 15-yard touchdown, Brown.
And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
But for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good, and then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much, because as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
To throw on 2nd down. Sherman into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammate's going to check on it, because when you haven't done...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Saints are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to throw on second down. Sherman. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Sherman's pass.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL's record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
A.J. Brown.
35 yards.
And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Now for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Eagles 21, Saints 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up second down.
Second and 8 at the 17-yard line.
A final shot before break. Sherman. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
That's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On
third down. He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half. The offense schemed, going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up first and 10 at their own 43. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Man open left side is Brown. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short. Again, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this third quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Deliver and accept it. We need to go out there and make something happen.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Now back to throw. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And an Eagles first down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure. And now here's another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Extra point attempt to come here. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Gain of 14. First down, Eagle.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Watkins. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now here's a throw that's complete. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter-punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. Throwing to start the drive. Sherman. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's intercepted yet again. And that could be the backbreaker. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Even with the good gain, I thought they might accept that one.
Yeah, you thought maybe they'd go with the downs as opposed to the yardage. So if you're taking the yardage now, 2nd and less than 5, that tells me you feel good about how your offense is working.
This will be caught by Brown. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a first down, and he's also over 190 receiving yards now. What a game. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. They hand off to their big tight end. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. A tough time to take the sack. Now it's 4th and goal, and that's a loss of 6. And his kick is right there. It's good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11th.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And he's brought down. They took a big shot there. It pays off. A solid gain downfield. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. They'll look to throw again. And this one is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. But probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Eagles come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked